might be with us for the first time or have just been here a few times. So let me see if we have a picture to show you. Do we, Carmen? Maybe. No. All right. Shall I tell you what it was? What do you think? Yeah. We have a photo that we just didn't get loaded for you. Our Unitine middle schooler, Catherine Guerin, is off to the Unitine retreat with 50 to 100 other kids her age in Live Oak, Florida. And her dad had a picture of them leaving in the van from Del Rey, and she had a big, bright, happy smile on her face. So we just wanted to let y'all know that even though we have one that age, we do have one. And she's growing up with Unity principles. And we have some younger kids come along. Julian's with us this morning, and we have a few others. So just thank you for your support of our youth ministry program. So our band is here, and with their usual professional performances for us that bring in all of our spiritual components as we seek to uplift you in so many ways. So thank you, James McCoy.
Good morning. We have Mr. David Siegel with us at the piano once again, Mr. Jeff Renz at the drum set, and you've met our featured soloist, Samantha Natalie Wallace. And we have music today from Shoshana Bean and Karen Taylor Good.
Okay, we look forward to it. So let's begin with looking at our theme for the year, which we know is One Humanity, Many Stories. And we have a different theme every month, but overall is knowing that together we are all here with everybody else on this planet as one humanity. And even though we each have a different story, we have learned to appreciate and respect each of the paths that got us here. So this month, as we begin a new month, our theme is Being Enough. This one I hope will ring true in your heart. No matter what your path has been and whatever you're into now, we are enough just as we are. So won't you join me in this affirmation together? Back up, back up. Okay. I rise up and reclaim my true identity as a sacred being. All right. And we do want to share in our vision together. Centered in God, we create an ever-expanding spiritual community of one. And our mission statement together, we are a spiritual beacon of inspiration, abundance, and enlightenment. So let's pray together now as we just take a breath and relax into the morning, breathing out all of the activity of the week and the day, and resting in knowing that we are in a safe, warm, loving environment here. Whether we've met each other or not, we call ourselves friends. We call ourselves sacred beings walking this path together. And so we tune into our own heart space and into our mind so that we may be refreshed, that we may receive inspiration in its many forms throughout this day. And so it is. Amen. And this morning, let's join together in praying together the 23rd Psalm. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen. And let's stand now and sing together.
Oh my goodness, we did this a few weeks ago. Some of you know it already, but the lyrics are so easy and so true. So let's all sing together. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, so you can start loving me. Let's all sing.
I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me.
You got it? You got it?
I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me.
Oh, turn it off, Carmen. Turn it off. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. One more time. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much,
that you can start loving me.
And if you were here for the very first time, get ready to protect yourself if you're not a hugger. I really have tried during our greeting time to say, let's just turn to each other and shake hands. And the one time I tried that, there was a rebellion and voices yelled no. So, although we have plenty of people that like to greet each other with a hug, know that that's not necessary. So we want to welcome, if you're here for the first time, our ambassadors are standing by with a brochure to give you. May we see your hand if you're here for the very first time. Welcome. These are our ambassadors, one of our volunteer teams, and there is a table when you enter Fellowship Hall after the service full of information about unity, and they are happy to greet you and answer any questions you may have. And for those who have come on a regular basis, you're welcome to stop by there too and find out what you've maybe not known about unity. So take advantage of our ambassadors table. It's very important to us that we all meet and get together during fellowship time. Everyone is always welcome following the service in the building next door, where we always have, well, we can't call it snacks anymore. It's been creeping to more and more, and now we have wonderful volunteers who even fix sandwiches every week. So come on and enjoy fellowship time together if you haven't done that already. Prayer is also very important here. We have prayer slips in the chair backs for you to fill out what your prayer requests may be. Put them in the offering plate or put them in the prayer chest that resides on a table in the lobby area. It's brought to the front during our prayer time so that you may join with all of us in remembering the prayer requests from our community here. We have a chaplain available in the first room on the right as you enter that hallway a half hour before every service, so that you may have some private prayer time in a sacred, quiet space, or you may ask the chaplain to pray with you, and that chaplain would be happy to do so. Our prayer chaplains are also available after every service. They stand in the outer aisles and will gladly pray with you so that you get a good start on your week. We want to encourage those ministry leaders to come today to our monthly ministry leader meeting. These are our committee chairs, our team volunteers. So we meet every month to bring ourselves up to speed with the many events we have going on. We also have a wonderful Saturday planned for both the women and men. The women are meeting here. If you want to carpool, you want to be here at 9:15 to go together. If you want to drive yourself, please be there at 10 o'clock. It's Wakatahatchee Wetlands in Delray Beach, and it is for bird watching, walking together in nature, communicating with the sisterhood that we have here. This is open to any women. Bring your friends, bring your neighbors, bring family members, and look forward to a wonderful Saturday morning. And then the men are going to start very early. Here's Joey raising his hand. See him if you have questions. The men's group is going to do a beach sweep, joining with others on Fort Lauderdale Beach, beginning at 7 in the morning. Those of you that have condos in that area, look out your window. Find out where they're going to meet afterwards. No, any of the men's group are welcome, again, to please join in. Use this for a time of getting to know the other men in our congregation. Please bring friends and neighbors for this important beach cleanup day. Holy Week, amazing, it's here already. Next Sunday is Palm Sunday. And then we have Maundy Thursday, which is known as Holy Thursday. On the Christian calendar, we do a metaphysical interpretation of what communion and that Last Supper is all about. And I think you'll find it refreshing if you haven't looked at that. Many of us were raised in the traditional churches who have a certain meaning around that Passover meal. And Unity sees it a little differently. So we ask you to come out for that and enjoy the evening. The chaplains also are here and do a wonderful hand washing ceremony. And we join together in Fellowship Hall, commemorating what communion was about and what it is about to us. It's just an hour service, believe it or not. So make time for that on Maundy Thursday. And on Good Friday, also, the sanctuary here will be open, and Reverend Louise will lead us in a prayer vigil, quiet time of on Good Friday. And then Easter Sunday, of course. This year we're not having children's activities or egg hunts, although children are certainly welcome to come to the service. We have sign-ups in the lobby area for Easter lilies to adorn our altar area here. If you would like to purchase an Easter lily, well, the church will purchase them. We're asking for your $10 donation. And then your lily will be yours to take home or to gift to someone else. Your lily will also be dedicated to whatever you designate, a person or something else. So when you sign up for your lily in the lobby, today's the last day for that, write very legibly, and not only your name, but the name of the dedication. And that will make a beautiful presentation on Easter morning. Just a couple things for your calendar. On Tuesday night, April 30th, California Pizza Kitchen gives back 20% of our entire sales for that day, including catering. So if you're of a group that brings lunch into your building at work, suggest that they order from California Pizza Kitchen. Any orders taken throughout the day, just give our name, and it will go to our credit. Those who are available will meet together at California Pizza Kitchen at 6:30 for a wonderful eating out together time. I think the last time we did this, we had 30 or more people enjoying that meal together. So if you even think that you're going to be able to come, please let us know by email or phone to the office so that we can have enough tables and chairs set up at CPK. And lastly, A wonderful community picnic is planned. September, Labor Day of 2017, we did this and had such a fabulous time. That time we had like 80 people or more, but it was very hot. So we're doing it again. John Dolan has reserved the same pavilion. It's on a lagoon. You may come by boat. We're going to arrange carpools from here. So please save Saturday, May 18th, Spanish River Park in Boca for our community picnic day. And a lot of effort goes into this. So if you are available to help with the planning and the various teams that will be at work for this fantastic day, please see Ron Smith in the lobby, or Judy is here today. Judy Ebmeyer is heading up our events team for that. Judy, raise your hand. See Judy. And also John Dolan is one to contact to get on the list for our helpers for the events team. Thank you so much for that. And now let's stand and greet each other.
This is the day, this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. That the Lord has made.
And when the music stops, we all sit back down. Thank you very much.
Good morning, Unity. Good morning, Unity of Pompano. Good morning. My name is John Dolan, and each month, one of us is asked to come up and introduce themselves and just kind of get to know the congregation a little bit better. We call it storytelling. So I'll tell you a little bit of story, a little bit about me. I've been attending Unity of Pompano for about 4.5 years. From the moment I started attending, I can tell you I felt very connected and very welcomed, as I'm sure most of you have felt that way. Funny thing is, you always kind of remember that first day, right? Remember the first day in Fellowship Hall following the service. that morning. I came with a few friends, and ironically, one of my friends that hasn't come in a while, he came today, my friend Brian. So the original crew. So it was Brian, Jesus, and Jim, cousin Jim. We were going to the Unity of Fort Lauderdale, and we decided, hey, let's try something different. We heard some really good things about Pompano Beach. So, the folks came right over. Everybody was real friendly. And one thing that kind of stuck to me was that Bev had met us a little bit, but there were a few of us that were new, and she remembered our names. And I'll never forget that. That was so heartfelt, because I think in the prior Unity that we were at, I don't think there was that connection. So that's kind of one of the things that bring me here every week. It's a pretty amazing place. One of the things, it sort of started in fellowship, that connection. So I think that's why I was drawn to serve in fellowship, right? It's so funny because a lot of people come into the kitchen and they'll sort of hear a lot of banter and laughter, and there's how does anything get done in this place, right? So, but we really have a good time, and I think what's happening is we're bonding. And I would really encourage those that have not served, just reach out to one of the ministry leaders and get involved, because it's not the work, it's really the feeling that you get with all the people that you meet and get to know. So our theme for this month is enough, and I stumbled upon a really cool story that I'd like to tell. It's not my story, it's a story that I found, but I wanted to share that in keeping with the theme. And the name of the story is I Wish You Enough. I overheard a mother and daughter in their last moments together at the airport as the daughter's departure was announced. Standing near the gate, they hugged, and the mother said, "I love you, and I wish you enough." The daughter replied, "Mom, our life together has been more than enough. Your love is all that I've ever needed." "I wish you enough too, Mom." They kissed, and the daughter left. The mother walked over to the window where I sat. Standing there, I could see she wanted and needed to cry. I tried not to intrude on her privacy, but she welcomed me in asking, "Did you ever say goodbye to someone knowing it would be forever?" "Yes, I have," I replied. "Forgive me for asking, but why is this a forever goodbye?" "I am old and she lives far away. I have challenges ahead, and the reality is the next trip back will be for my funeral," she said. "When you were saying goodbye, I heard you say, 'I wish you enough.' May I ask what that means?" She began to smile. That's a wish that has been handed down from other generations in my family. My parents used it to say it to everyone. She paused a moment and looked as if trying to remember it in detail, and smiled even more. When we said, "I wish you enough," we were wanting the other person to have a life filled with just enough good things to sustain them. Then turning toward me, she shared the following. I'm sorry. It's a little emotional because it kind of touches you a little bit, right? She shared the following, reciting it from memory. "I wish you enough sun to keep your attitude bright. I wish you enough rain to appreciate the sun more. I wish you enough happiness to keep your spirit alive. I wish you enough pain so that the smallest joys in life appear much bigger. I wish you enough gain to satisfy your wanting. I wish you enough loss to appreciate all that you possess. I wish you enough hellos to get you through the final goodbye." She then began to cry and walked away. They say it takes a minute to find a special person, an hour to appreciate them, a day to love them, and an entire life to forget them. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning, Unity family. My name is Nancy Tarrant-Chowardy, and I'm privileged to serve as one of your board of directors. And I am here to read the daily word, which is comfort. Immersed in God's presence, I find strength and comfort. As he journeyed toward Jerusalem and the experience of crucifixion, Jesus faced challenges from those who rejected his teaching. Even his disciples would leave him in his moment of greatest need. Jesus found strength and comfort in the awareness of God's presence that was always with him. I am not alone because the Father is with me, Jesus said. When I experience challenges, I remember that like Jesus, I am never alone. I am God's living expression. In prayer, I center my thought and feeling in my divine identity. God's presence fills my awareness. No external condition or circumstance can have power over me. God's awareness continues to grow within me as I return to my daily activities. And the scripture is from Jeremiah 31:13. I will comfort them and give them gladness for sorrow.
Right now, as the prayer chest comes forward, we'd like to begin a time of prayer and meditation by singing together, I am at peace.
I am at peace, I am at peace. I am one with the Spirit. I am calm, I am still. I am doing God's will. I am at peace, I am at peace. I am one with the Spirit, and I dwell in the presence of the Lord. I am at peace, I am at peace. I am one with the Spirit. I am calm, I am still. I am doing God's will. I am at peace, I am at peace. I am one with the Spirit, and I dwell in the presence of the Lord. And I dwell in the presence of the Lord.
I invite you now to find that very comfortable and familiar position for your body. And as you settle into that position, you can give your body permission to relax, to let go, to let be. And with that loving permission, your body will immediately move its focus from the outer to the inner. You can also give your mind that same loving permission, and your mind will settle into that ease as well. So with mind at ease and heart at ease, body at ease, your awareness then is free to commune with Spirit. And in this time of stillness, it is your experience with Spirit. For some of you, it will be a time of profound stillness, and for some, a time of color and sound and images, feelings. It is your time. Allow it to be that special to you. So let us now together allow our awareness to sink into that deep of our heart, in that place of communion with Spirit, and let us be together. Now, as you prepare to move your awareness to your body, back to this space and this time, you know that even an instant during which your awareness is immersed in that deep of your heart, that healing and transformation take place. And you know that you can bring with you into your body, your mind, your heart, the essence of this experience in the stillness, and hold it there. And in this coming week, as you choose to, you can simply return and bring once again to mind the essence of this experience and be blessed all over again. So with a deep sense of gratitude for this opportunity of being together in this very special way, I invite you to take a deep, slow breath in through your nose. Hold it for a moment. Exhale slowly, deliberately through your mouth. And when you're ready, open your eyes and we will sing together, Alleluia.
I am not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, 'cause no one will love you as you are. But won't let them break me down to dust, 'cause I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, gonna send a flood to drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come, and I'm marching on the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. Yeah, I make no apologies. This is me. Another round of bullets hits my skin. Fire away, I say, 'cause I won't let the shame sink in. We are bursting through the barricades and reaching for the sun. We are glorious, yes, that's what we've become. But I won't let them break me down to dust, 'cause I know there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, apologies. This is me. Oh. The sharpest words wanna cut me down. Gonna send a flood to draw them out. I'm brave and bruised. Yeah, this is who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on the beat and drum. This is me, yeah. Look out, 'cause here I come. Oh, and I'm marching on, marching on. I make no apologies. This is me.
That's Samantha Natalie.
Wow. Sunday after Sunday. My goodness. Oh, that's me, isn't it? All right, here we go. I want to begin with one of my favorite Psalms. We shared together a moment ago, the 23rd Psalm. But Psalm 139, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but a large part of it. You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. You discern my going out and my lying down. You are familiar with all my ways. Before a word is on my tongue, you, Lord, know it completely. You hem me in behind and before, and you lay your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too lofty for me to attain. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me. Your right hand will hold me fast. If I say, surely the darkness will hide me and the light become night around me, even the darkness will not be dark to you. The night will shine like the day, for the darkness is as light to you. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I can remember hearing that as a child and being very moved by it, even as a child, to feel the power in those words. Now, the theme for this month is being enough. And along with being enough, we're also going to take a look at having enough and doing enough. We'll come back to that in just a moment. I want to start where I always do with any topic, asking, what is this thing that we're thinking about? So what is enough? What's the definition? Well, I checked with my good friend Google, and I found that enough is defined as adequate for the want or need, sufficient for the purpose, or sufficient to satisfy desire. And some of the interesting synonyms are suitable, ample, full, abundant, plenitude, adequacy, competence, acceptable, bountiful, comfortable, complete, copious, and the one I like best is belly full. So enough is as much as is necessary in the amount or the degree needed. Now that gives us a definition, but it left me wanting something, because that says nothing about how we can measure enough. It tells you what it is, but how do you measure it? How do you know when you have enough? How do you know when you don't have enough or you have too much? We need some system of measurement. Now, a little bit of trivia for you here. There is an International Bureau of Weights and Measures that many years ago set the standard for what all weights and measures are supposed to be. And every state has a Department of Weights and Measures. The United States federal government has a Department of Weights and Measures. Every state has a Department of Weights and Measures. And very often, large municipalities have a Department of Weights and Measures. So we have a standard that gets applied out in the world. Well, it's kind of interesting. I found this very fascinating. I won't take you into the whole thing of it. But eventually, we got to the place. At one time, the length was measured by a metal bar that was kept in a vacuum somewhere in Washington, D.C. And we got a little more sophisticated than that. Now it's all done electronically. So a meter is a unit that's defined how far light travels in a vacuum in 1,299,727,092 458th of a second. That's how long a meter is. So around the world, everywhere, if you want to know how long a meter is, that's how long it is. That's what's accepted all over the world. A second, which I heard one time was 3 bats of a pretty woman's eyes. Seems longer than that, though. A second is defined by 9,192,631,770 oscillations of a cesium atom. Cesium is a radioactive metal. So there's a way all over the world, wherever you are, that's a second. So we have measures about things. And in the world, there are all kinds of measurements. We measure length, we measure time, we measure distance, light, heat, all kinds of things. One example of that, if you've ever pumped gas for yourself, you'll notice on every gas tank there's a little sticker put there by the State Department of Weights and Measures. And they make sure that the octane advertised of the gasoline is accurate, and they make sure that the gas pumps is accurate in what they pump. So they put that little sticker on there. That's an example of the exercise of weights and measures. And talking about gas, that reminds me of a story. Why does my wife always do this when I say that? There were these 2 nuns who had the responsibility of providing nursing care to the parishioners that lived way out in the country. So they were driving along one day going about their business, and they ran out of gas. So one of them opened the trunk, and all they had that they could put gas in was a bedpan. So she took the bedpan and went down the road to a neighbor's house and got some gas in the bedpan and came back and was proceeding to pour it in the gas tank of the car. An old farmer drove by, rolled down his window and said, "Well, sister, I really admire your faith, but I don't think that's going to work." So there are many, many ways of measuring almost everything: electricity, volume, everything. But I could not find, no matter how hard I searched with my friend Google, a department of enough. It's not there. And I looked and asked all kinds of questions and got all kinds of silly answers to it. But there's no department of enough, and there's no standard of measurement for enough. We use that word so much, but there's no standard to measure it. Nobody's ever said, okay, now here is the unit of measurement for enough, and we're all going to agree to use it. What we find out is that enough is incredibly subjective, and enough is incredibly situational. Now, I mentioned earlier, in addition to being enough, we were going to take a look at having enough and doing enough. Now, how do we measure having enough? It's incredibly situational and subjective. Take somebody who has a really nice 2-bedroom home, and they're happy as they can be in it, they have enough. Until they go to somebody's house who has 4 bedrooms. And all of a sudden, they have enough, but I don't. And the person in the 4-bedroom house says, we have enough. Because that 2-bedroom house is less than us, so we have enough. Until they see somebody has an 8-bedroom house. Then all of a sudden, the 4-bedroom is not enough. And that one is enough. So you see, it's a moving target. The definition or the measurement of enough is always moving. It's always changing, regardless, depending on the situation. So we're at a bit of a disadvantage to intellectually speak about what enough is really all about. And we do it inaccurately many times. And another mistake that we make with enough is that, actually I could say to you that enough is what you say it is. Okay? It is because I say so. But what happens very often is what we say enough is what somebody else says is enough. Any of you judge enough for yourself, having enough for yourself, by what you got from your parents, or from your family, or from your coworkers, or somewhere else besides your own heart? That happens very often. And it can easily happen because we don't have any standard measurement. And it changes all the time. What about doing? There is no way to measure what is enough doing. You do enough to get the job done, but is that really enough? You don't know. Talk to the guy who was the top-selling salesman for years and years, and then this hotshot comes along and knocks him off his pedestal up there selling more than anybody else. What's the measurement for doing enough? There is none. It's completely subjective, completely situational. Yet we tie ourselves to those ideas of having enough and doing enough. Any of you ever felt like you didn't have enough? How did you measure that? What standard did you use? You used what either you decided was enough or what somebody else decided was enough for you. Any of you ever felt like you weren't doing enough because your boss told you weren't doing enough? Or your spouse told you weren't doing enough? Or your family told you weren't doing enough? Well, you made that evaluation without any standard of measurement. It was somebody's idea, maybe yours, maybe somebody else's. So we're at a real disadvantage when we start valuing our life around what we say we have, if we have enough. We're at a disadvantage if we value our life by what we're doing and doing enough. So there's a problem here that I think we can address with a deeper understanding. And that's where being enough comes into play. Because being enough is different from having enough and doing enough. Because being enough is not situational. Being enough is not subjective. Excuse me. Being enough is about principle. And you know, metaphysically speaking, when we say principle, we say something that what? Does not change. It is constant. And we know about constants. In mathematics, we have constants. How many remember learning about pi? That reminds me of a story. There was this family that lived way out in the country, and one of the kids finally made it through high school and was going to go to college. And after the first semester in college, he came home, and the family had a great big party, and his parents were so proud of him. And his father said, "Come here, son," said, "tell your uncle here something mathematical." And the young man said, "Pi r squared." And uncle looked at his brother and said, "You know what? You wasted your money. Everybody knows that pi r round." You got that, didn't you? All right. But we have constants in mathematics. There are certain things that stay the same in formulas no matter what, and pi is one of those. I knew a kid one time that could do pi out to 30 decimal places. You know, we usually say 3.17, but it goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on ad infinitum. But we have other constants that are used to solve problems. We have constants in science. They help us to understand those matters. So we know what a constant is. Well, I believe very much that being enough is a constant. Being enough is a principle that is part of who and what you are. If you are drawing breath as a human being, you are being enough. Your behavior may not always be totally appropriate. Your thoughts may not always serve you. Your feelings may not help you along. But in truth, you are always being enough simply by being here. Now, we don't want to believe that because we've got all these entanglements with having enough and doing enough. We never have enough, we never do enough. We've got to keep trying, got to keep going. And we do the same thing with being enough. You can never do anything to be enough. You can never have enough to be enough. Being enough comes first. And one reason this is so important for us and so powerful for us, if we come to the place where we truly understand and we truly embrace and we truly embody being enough, the rest will take care of itself. You will either be happy with what you have, or you will find a way to get what you want, genuinely desire and need out in the world. and doing enough, if you truly know that you are being enough, you will do what is appropriate, and you will do exactly how much you need to do and do exactly what you need to do because you're being enough already. And those other things are secondary to that. Do you see how important that is? For us to be able to say, I am enough. Now, any of you get this thing coming up, a pride goes before a great fall? Did you ever hear that when you were coming along, somewhere along the way or in another church? And the moment we start saying something that is confident, something that is true in principle, that old thing comes up and says, oh, that's being arrogant. Please be arrogant. I'd much rather be with you being spiritually arrogant than walking around wringing your hands as if you're nothing. I am enough. You are enough by virtue of your nature as a spiritual being. Not by anything you've done, not by anything you have, not what anybody says, not what anybody else thinks, but in truth and principle, in the depths of your heart, you are enough. You don't need to get it. You don't need to find it. You don't need for somebody to give it to you. I am enough is a part of who you are right now. What's important for you to do is to uncover all the things that don't believe that. Let go of all the thoughts that conflict with that and say, I am enough. That is so very powerful. And this may sound silly to you. If you get up in the morning, first thing you do, go to the mirror, wash your face, whatever you do, look at yourself and say, I am enough. And if you will believe that, because you say so, because you know that to be the very essence of who and what you are, that is the playing out of your very nature as a spiritual being. If you believe that, the rest of the day will be completely different than if you don't do that. What happens when you get up and say, I'm not enough? How much do you have to do in that day? All of it. How much do you have to have? All of it. And it's still not enough. But begin with being enough, and the rest will follow. Because knowing that you are enough engages all the rest of the faculties and powers that we have within us. We talk about in Unity the 12 powers. You've heard of that, right? Those are important things because they get activated and they get manifested in our life. But it begins with knowing I am enough. There was a little boy one day who wanted to go out and play, and his dad said, no, you can't. The little boy got mad and stomped his feet. It's not fair, it's not fair. And his father said, but remember that I love you. The little boy said, I don't care if you love me. And his father said, I love you anyway. The little boy said, I don't want you to love me. And his father said, but I love you anyway. Whether you care or not about being enough, you are enough. Whether you believe it or not, you are enough. Whether you want it to be that way or not, you are enough. And that's the beginning of everything. I want to close with a paraphrase of the Psalm 139 I read earlier, just a piece of it. Where can I go from being enough? Where can I flee from being enough? If I go up to the heavens, I am enough. If I make my bed in the depths, I am enough. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, I am enough. If I settle on the far side of the sea, even there, I am enough. If I say, surely the darkness will hide me and the light become night around me, even in the darkness, I am enough. I am fearfully and wonderfully made, and I am enough. And that's the truth. God bless you.
Oh my goodness. Can we all just take a breath together and know that? We've heard so many different versions of being enough through the many years that we've lived. So let's relish the fact that we know truly we are enough. And we know what it takes to keep this place going, so we have reached our time of taking an offering and appreciating what you give here, appreciating how you serve here. Even your attendance makes such a difference. It's so wonderful the more seats we have filled. A shout out to our live streamers who tune in and support us over the internet. So thank you all for all that you give, all that you share, everything you do here. It makes us able to continue on giving the message that we believe so strongly in. So thank you, and won't you join me in our offering prayer. Together, with a grateful heart, we acknowledge God as source of all that is. Today, we declare love for ourselves and all others. Love is mine. Love and more love is mine. An ever-increasing love is mine. Everywhere I go, I see this love. I feel it. I experience it. I freely give it. And it multiplies itself around me. And so it is. Amen.
When I woke up this morning, had a smile slowly forming, and I felt something different but strangely cool. Radio clock is alarming, happy thoughts started swarming, and I can't hear the voices of gloom and doom. Oh, I am feeling mighty intoxicated, naturally high as these voices dance in my head. The ugly girl that I thought I was, that's not who I am. No, it's never been. Now I can love myself, looking at the sweet face in the mirror. Now I can love myself, and the truth of me is getting clearer, that I have always been and will always be beautiful. Beautiful, yeah. Then I skipped out the doorway, and I'm greeting this new day. Every breath that I'm taking says life is good. Oh, the sun's beating brighter, and my heart's beating lighter, and I love more than I ever thought I could. Oh, I am feeling mighty intoxicated, naturally as high as these visions dance in my head. The ugly girl that I thought I was, well, that's not who I am. No, it's never been. Now I can love myself, looking sweet face in the mirror. Now I can love myself, and the truth of me is getting clearer, that I have always been and will always be beautiful. Yes, I'm beautiful, yeah. Now I can love myself, looking at the sweet face in the mirror. Now I can love myself, and the truth of me is getting clearer, that I have always been and will always be beautiful. Beautiful. I'm beautiful, yeah, beautiful. You are beautiful. You are beautiful.
Thank you so much for that great music today. You're all beautiful. You are all beautiful. It makes for a good feeling to just say that. We need to practice that a little more, don't we? Let's begin to prepare ourselves to bless each other as the chaplains take their positions. They are happy to have some affirmative prayer with you. If you're not familiar with that, walk up to one of them and ask what it is. John is making his way to our used bookstore through that garden door. Take advantage of checking out all of our used books. We have Cynthia and Bob over here for prayer with you, and so is Nick. So let's all stand now and bless each other. Together, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Have a great weekend, everybody.